Okay, everyone, so welcome to my last video of 2025. In this video, I want to talk about WWE and the year that it had, in 2025, what I liked and what I didn't like about this year in WWE. And I can start off by saying that this year was a bit of a disappointment, in my opinion. I don't think it was overly terrible. I've seen some people say that. WWE in 2025 was the worst year ever or one of the worst years. I wouldn't really go that far because I think there's been a lot of years that were worse, like 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. I think those years were far worse. Um, but I can say that 2025 was definitely one of the most disappointing years because it had so much potential to be such a great year, especially after we had so many good years. 2024 was a great year, 2023 was a great year. So obviously, people had high hopes for this year being great as well, but it just didn't turn out that way. Uh, so let's talk about some of the things I liked about this year. So there were a lot of moments and matches that I liked. Like SummerSlam when Cody Rhodes and John Cena had that match, that street fight for the championship. That was an awesome match. And when it happened, it was my match of the year until the AJ Styles match happened at Crown Jewel with John Cena. Um, I'm not gonna talk about which wrestlers, like who I think was the wrestler of the year, because I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow. That something I always do on this channel on January 1st is rank the 10 best wrestlers of the year that just ended. So that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Um, but yeah, I can talk about some matches that I liked. I think AJ Styles versus John Cena at Crown Jewel was the match of the year. I don't think any match tops that. The Cody Rhodes match at SummerSlam with John Cena was amazing, like I said, but I think the AJ match was slightly better, low key. Uh, I think the both triple threat matches at WrestleMania 41 were awesome, like the Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Io Sky triple threat was awesome, and the night one main event with CM Punk and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, that was also a great match. Um, but I can say that there were a lot of things I did not like I think WrestleMania this year was a major disappointment. Especially after WrestleMania 40. WrestleMania 40 is my favorite WrestleMania of all time. Not just because of the main event and Cody Rhodes finishing the story, but it was just such a just that WrestleMania had everything. Like great moments, great matches, great storytelling. The build up leading up to the matches were fantastic. Especially the Cody Roman main event, uh, and stuff like that. But this year it was just underwhelming. Like the hype for WrestleMania wasn't there. Or it wasn't as big as it was a year ago. Holy shit! I keep getting. But anyways, like Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble, I'm not one of those people that hated that moment because I'm actually a Jey Uso fan. I know like that it is pretty scary to admit sometimes that you like Jey Uso these days because like a lot of people seem to hate Jey Uso. A lot of wrestling fans. If you go on X, like you'll barely see anyone saying anything positive about Jey Uso anymore because he gets so much hate, and I think that Royal Rumble victory that definitely started this whole trend of the fans hating Jey Uso. I mean, it's the internet that really hates Jey Uso because every time he's out in the arena, he gets cheered and people do the eat thing and. But I can understand why some people think that him not be like. Trust me, Jey Uso wasn't really the one I wanted to win the Rumble either. Like you had some other people in that Rumble that could have won over him. You had CM Punk, you had John Cena, you had Seth Rollins, you had these people, right? But the thing is, you gotta understand that Jey Uso he did technically earn it because of how over he was with the crowd and how much merch he sold and he so I can understand why WWE decided to reward him and give him this Royal Rumble win and stuff. Uh, But him tapping out Gunther at WrestleMania, I can understand why people didn't like that because it didn't really make much sense, you know. Like Gunther, like Jey Uso is not a submission wrestler, so and he taps out Gunther, who's like arguably the best submission wrestler in the whole company. You know, a lot of people say that Gunther is the best wrestler, like pure wrestler in the company, which is pretty interesting now because you know after he tapped out John Cena, he gets a lot of hate. Now you know, and even though I'm pretty sure John Cena was the one that wanted him to tap him out, but okay. Uh, and and I also think a lot of people like there were so many underwhelming PLEs this year. Like I don't think there were that many PLEs this year that were like that I really enjoyed. Like except for Crown Jewel, you know, because Crown Jewel had that awesome John Cena and AJ Styles match, and it also had that Cody Rhodes Seth Rollins main event, which I also think was pretty damn good. Uh, but other than that, you know, like Elimination Chamber was also pretty great, you know, because of, you know, John Cena's heel turn. The Chamber matches were awesome. The Sami Zayn Kevin Owens match was awesome. Uh, but I feel like every PLE after that was just underwhelming, except for Crown Jewel. I think was pretty great, and SummerSlam was decent. I'll say that. Like I think the main events of both SummerSlam nights carried it. Like the CM Punk versus Gunther match on night one and the Seth Rollins cash in that carried night one, and the Cody Cena match on night two carried night two in my opinion. And let's not talk about Brock Lesnar's return because that was like I don't want to talk about Brock Lesnar. Or I can say Brock Lesnar had the worst match of the year. My least favorite match of the year was John Cena versus Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza because that match was just a copy paste of SummerSlam 2014 but worse. You know, it didn't have the same aura or the same spectacle. Or yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna race. I'm just gonna f up for people. But anyways, yeah, and so John Cena basically he had the best year of he had the best match of the year in my opinion, and he also had the worst match of the year. So the best one was with AJ, and the worst one was with Brock. And a big part of 2025 was obviously John Cena's retirement tour, which was a mixed bag. You know, we got some great moments, like obviously the AJ match, the Cody match at SummerSlam. We had some great promos. You know, like the Pipe Bomb 2.0 on CM Punk. You know, I think the CM Punk rivalry was pretty good. And oh crap. But low key, you know, yeah, I think the match wasn't that good, or it was. I think it was decent, but it didn't feel the same. If that makes sense. You know, because of all the interferences and stuff, and it wasn't nowhere near on the level of Punk and Cena's past matches. You know, so yeah. I think 2025 was a bit of a letdown, low key, and Cena's retirement tour was also. I think they wasted many dates on a lot of unnecessary things, like Cena either cutting a promo and then doing nothing else on the show, or the heel run, which was obviously pretty underwhelming. I think the John Cena's heel turn at Elimination Chamber was awesome. It was an awesome moment because it was so shocking and just so out of nowhere, and I did not expect that to ever happen. Like it basically felt like Hulk Hogan turning heel to like this generation's version of Hulk Hogan turning heel in WCW. But the aftermath, you know, The Rock especially not showing up for WrestleMania. Like I think The Rock and Travis Scott being in the main event of WrestleMania, like him interfering was also another like such an unnecessary moment. Uh, yeah, man, like Travis Scott being at WrestleMania was my least favorite moment of the year. You know, because it not only like John Cena's winning his 17th championship is connected to Travis Scott of all people, and then that's really annoying because you know he's like who cares about Travis Scott, you know. And 2025 will also be remembered as the year that Jey Uso had arguably his best year and his worst year because Well, it was his best year when it comes to accomplishments because I mean, look at what Jey Uso accomplished. You know, he won the Royal Rumble, he won the World Title at WrestleMania. He, you know, he was consistently in the main event like throughout the entire year. You know, even though people like many people didn't like it, he still was consistently in big programs and big matches. So it definitely was Jay's biggest year ever. Like compared to all the other years he spent as a tag team wrestler, and well, yeah, like Jay Uso just had a mixed bag of a year. And I also think some other great moments, like yeah, Seth Rollins cashing in at SummerSlam was a great moment. Yeah, like that. That's 2025 was an underwhelming year with a lot of with some moments that I really liked. Like there will be some stuff that I will go back and rewatch. Like AJ Cena, Cody Cena, uh, Cody Seth at Crown Jewel. Like the triple threats at WrestleMania, maybe. Like yeah, like 2025, we did get some good wrestling and stuff. But this year could have been so much better because, like, after how great 2024 was, in my opinion, my favorite year in wrestling history, I really hoped that 2025 would at least be on par with it, but it really wasn't. I think it was a lot of stupid booking decisions ruined it and stuff. So, I mean, I am looking forward to 2026 to see how it goes. I hope it goes better. Like, I hope 2026 is gonna be a better year. Like, I hope WrestleMania 42 is gonna be awesome. And yeah, like, let's see how it goes. I can make some predictions for 2026. I can say Chris Jericho, I think, is going to return to WWE because I think his contract with AEW is up or almost up. So, yeah, I think Y2J Chris Jericho is coming back. I think the main event of WrestleMania 42 might be Cody Rhodes versus maybe Punk if they have Punk drop the belt to Braun Breaker or somebody. Like maybe Punk drops the belt to Braun Breaker or maybe Gunther or something. And then at the Elimination Chamber in Chicago, he wins the chamber and then challenges Cody at WrestleMania for the champion. Like that's the match I want. Like I really really want Cody and Punk at Mania. Another thing that I really want to happen in 2026 is AJ Styles to win the Royal Rumble. Like I really really want AJ to win the Rumble now. Like I mean, as much as I love Sami Zayn, I mean, Sami does have years left of his career, while AJ is retiring in 2026. And man, I really hope Roman doesn't win the Rumble because he doesn't need it. So yeah, man. Like 2026, is AJ gonna win the Rumble? That's pretty unlikely, I would say. But I mean, I hope it's gonna happen. I hope it happens. And yeah. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for 2025. It was a mixed bag year, for pro wrestling. So yeah, thanks for 2025, and let's look forward to 2026, which is happening in a few hours. Like there's only uh, 4.5 hours left of 2025 as I speak. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thank you for 2025, and yeah, see you in 2026. Happy New Year. Goodbye.